I want zero responsibility.
You can't have it, man. At the very least, you have to feed yourself and pay for your housing.
And Kyle, to answer your question, what I'm a marketing manager of, that's basically the role I've took over for Team Envious, is like the marketing guy.
Okay.
Because I just had to shell out $600 to help get Hastro a passport to go to Norway.
$600 for a passport? What's up with that?
Flight, travel, renewal fees, hotels.
Passports don't typically include flights. That's the thing.
Well, if you renew it to go overseas, they do. Because you got to renew it in Washington D.C.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Dude, I had mine done at the local post office.
Yeah, I think Castro
I just had mine.
Nice one, Castro. Nice one. Castro's in D.C. right now, like toasting somebody with a champagne glass. Like, thanks,
Well, I
Wing.
ain't giving that kind of cash. I booked this hotel for him.
He only needed like $100.
He's staying at like a fucking roadhouse. I mean,
Wings, have you ever gotten a passport?
not yet. No, I got to get one.
Let me explain how the
Put it on the
process
wall.
works.
No, getting a passport's easy.
Uh-huh.
To like go to Chicago.
You don't need a passport to go to Chicago.
Why don't you?
You can
Oh
go
my god!
anywhere.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
You gotta understand, I've
This is
never
really
left
great.
South Carolina.
Okay, let me help you here. You can travel anywhere in the United States without a passport. You can also go to, I think, Canada and Mexico with just like regular ID, like a driver's license.
Yeah.
But you need a passport to go to countries where they don't have that kind of reciprocal agreement. To go out of the country like that, you go to your local post office to get the passport. So step one, you go to like the drugstore and they take a passport photo of you. And,
Hold up. Somebody banned that kid that called me an absolute moron.
Okay. So the first step is you go to like the drugstore and they take a passport photo. You might think you could bring your own photo, but you can't. Like the background, the size of the picture, the amount of the picture that your face takes up, all that matters. So you have someone else take the picture. It's like $8. Take your picture, go to the post office, and I'm gonna make up numbers from my sketchy 7,000-year-old memory, but it's about $60 to get a passport, maybe $100 if you want it rushed, and they get it back in like 2 weeks. And then a little more, like maybe even $200, and you can get it back in a couple of days. So that's how a passport works.
I remember
Did that
him
help
giving
at
me a
all?
reason. There's something he had to do that he had to renew it in such a short notice. He had to be in Washington, D.C. to do it.
I mean...
Because he's going to the gathering. If you guys don't know what the gathering is, look it up. It's you just put the gathering in as the second link.
I know. I have to get a passport, and I'm going to have to put a rush on it. And I think it's like an extra $150 on top of everything else, like expedite it or whatever, and like get it pushed on through. Because I guess normally it takes a few months, and maybe this trims it down to like a month or two.
Yeah, I got another passport about a year and a half ago, and there's 2 levels of expediting you can do.
Oh, really? Like how much is the more expensive one, and how long does it take?
The most expensive one, I'm gonna. This is a couple of years ago, but it was like 200 something, and it's a couple of days. And then for like half that, it's like 2 weeks.
I always thought you had to have a flat. I always thought you had to have a flat. I thought you always had to have a passport to fly. And most of my experience comes from like watching like movies where people fly because they usually have a passport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. If you fly inside the U.S., then you don't need a passport.
I thought it was like another like security measure to get on a plane.
Nope, you're good to go.
Yep. All you need is ID and your plane ticket to get on the plane.
And see, and I can't stand it. That right there really pissed me off. If I could seen that faggot that called me a moron, I would have beat him right in the face with a mag light.
You know what though? Actually, Wings, I bet if you saw that guy that called you a moron, you'd disregard his 6-year-old.
I bet you I wouldn't.
He'd be 6 years old. You'd be like, "Oh, dude, I don't."
He'd be like,
"Come here, little man."
Fucking cracked skull.
With the mag light.
Yeah. That's Air Force aluminized steel, son. That shit don't bend, especially against a fragile ass, dumb ass skull like yourself.
Wings would be like, "Get back here in that tricycle. I got a truck, son. You just drive it up behind him."
He's pedaling at Mach 1. Wiggles his back and forth, ringing his bell, screaming for help. Wings puts it in 4-wheel drive and gets business done.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I just can't stand people who are ignorant like that, dude. I'd slap the shit out of them.
They're just not very nice, man.
You know, people in real life don't get ignorant like that. That's why I don't slap very many people.
I hear you. But Wings, you've been on YouTube for so long. Aren't you hardened to that, or You know what? So I'll talk about me.
I mean, because I
99% of the
naturally
time.
didn't know what I was talking about, and I knew I didn't. And then this bitch wants to call me a moron because I was uninformed about a situation that I had never been told about.
Yeah.
That's
Asking
the thing,
about a
man.
passport isn't something that you do regularly. You don't go to pick up fucking milk at the grocery store and be like, I wonder what the process of getting a passport is. Fuck you, fuck your mama, and fuck everybody that looks like you. I hope you die in your sleep tonight.
I'm
goes
so
like
glad
this
we got
for-
to incorporate a rage quit in this. It's great. Keep going.